Hello everybody and welcome back to the CD Toledo Youth Academy Only Challenge, and we are halfway through, just over halfway through the year of 2037, or that's not right, we're in February 2037. We're at the beginning of, I'm getting bogged down in dates. We're just over halfway through the season. Let's go and see how it's going. Yes, hello fellow managers, and the key part to talk about is that we are in to the knockout phase of the Champions League, which is absolutely bonkers. We're taking on Schalke, which is probably one of the harder teams we could have drawn. I mean, there are big teams in it. Arsenal, Bayern Munich, Man United are all in here. But, you know, we could have also drawn like Besiktas or Cagliari or Nice or someone like PSV potentially, which I think would have been a bit more favourable than Schalke. But, you know, it's not a terrible draw and we could potentially get through to the next round. And looking at the league table, we are up in 4th. Now, a little bit inflated. We have 41 points from 23 games. Atletico Madrid have 40 points from 22 games. And Real Zaragoza have 38 from 22 games. So both teams could, in theory, jump ahead of us in the league table. But results have been pretty decent. I did say we'd come back for Betis and Inter Milan, but we were already qualified for a playoff spot. So I was like, we'll just go forward a few more days and get to that point. In the last episode, we had that absolute epic game against AC Milan. We followed that up with a 4-1 loss to Sevilla, 2-0 win over Elche, 1-0 win over Molde, 3-1 win over Granada, 6-1 win in the Champions League over Hamburg, a 2-0 loss to Zaragoza, a 2-0 win over Levante, 4-0 in the first round of the Copa del Rey against Arandina, a 3-1 loss to Atletico Madrid, followed up by a very disappointing 3-0 loss to Espanyol. Through in the second round of the Copa del Rey, Al Cibinoro getting beaten. Then we beat Real Sociedad and lost to Almeria in the third round of the Cup, but I'm not too fussed about that. 2-1 win over PSG in the Champions League, and not just that, we played really well. We scored the winner in the 83rd minute through Jose Antonio Peña. 10 shots to 13, 3 on target to 5, a better XG than PSG. They had slightly more possession, but yeah, generally we played pretty well, to be honest. Even the attributes and the XG and the match momentum wasn't completely in their favour, so we did do a pretty good job of that. We followed that up, a bit of a hangover. We lost to Atletico Bilbao 1-0, but we've just beaten Ponferradina 3-0 in the league, which has taken us back to 4th position, which is lovely. So I thought we'd come back for the first leg of the knockouts in the Champions League, because I think if we get knocked out of this, we'll just come back for youth intake day. If we get through this game, we'll show the first leg, and I'll probably do the second leg off camera. But if we get through, then we'll come back for the next leg, or the next playoff game as well. Now, it looks like they're lining up in quite a defensive shape. We'll have to see how they play. Everyone is doing very well at the moment. We've called up a couple more youngsters to sit in the first team squad just to cover injuries and things like that. But generally, we are playing pretty damn well at the moment. So we do need to go and pick the squad, so I'll do that and we'll be right back. So it is pretty much getting to that point where it's a squad that picks itself. We're having a couple of changes. We are going to be bringing in who's starting in here. Peña is starting for Akinde. He's a little bit struggling for match fitness. Joel Pozzo is going to start ahead of Nicholas Myberg, just because we don't want you to get suspended for the next game, because I want you in the second leg as well. Aaron Wall is going to start. I think that's the yellow card and a little bit tired is the one I'm not sure about. The game's coming thick. We're going to start Andreas in there, but the game's coming thick and fast are sort of hindering how we're playing at the moment. Miguel Moreno and Crimson Mori just so crucial to how we play. I think they're going to get the start. And we've gone with Alfakov up front. Now, it could have been Jake Mills. Constantino is injured, but Alfakov has been playing reasonably well off the bench recently. 12 substitute appearances, 4 goals. Not doing too bad, and Jake Mills hasn't not really taken your chances when they've come to you. 5 games overall, 4 as subs, but a 6.5 isn't the best. So that is how we're going to be lining up for this game. Crimson Warrior is not fully fit, but we do have players on the bench that can come in and do a job for him. So I'm hoping that we can get this done and dusted. So let's get into it and see how we get on. The fans turn up through thick and thin. Remember that as you go out there today. No, I'm going to say we should be winning the first leg. I think that's a bit maybe a bit presumptuous, but I feel like we are in a good position. We're away from home. It's the Champions League. Hopefully the music's coming through. Can't remember if I've left it on this time or not. Yeah, but a very defensive 6-2-2 system. Not too sure how we're going to play through that, and we know our 4-2-3-1, which we always play, and we'll watch the players come out because it is the Champions League, and it is good. It is good to think we've got Toledo to this point. I have noticed that the little centre circle bit where they put this logo, it's a lot of people in suits. It's not normally people in suits, is it? It's normally like kids, like shaking it up and down, and like, yeah. So I'd work on that for next season. But yeah, anyway, we are underway in Germany playing Schalke, and it's going to be a pretty interesting game, I think. No, well, we've had the first shot, nothing of note massively. I think we'll get in there straight away with some encouragement, see what we can do. As you know, we play these games relatively quickly, and I do like bringing you little short episodes, and then we have a big review at the end of the season, or the occasional longer episode. But I do want to still keep this progressing through. Schalke have now had 2 shots and are getting through us. So let's we'll just get them to focus. Normally that can backfire. Yep, the whole defence basically didn't like that. I'm just thinking, the thing is, we can't see what they're doing at the moment in terms of this. So I think, what would I do logically against this? Our sort of box defence, as we've called it in here. I might as well go into tactics and show you what I'm thinking. Our box defence to here is going to be doing fine. So I think we can afford to try and get a few more people forwards. And we're actually going to go back to mixed crosses and see what we can do with them. I know we don't have Constantino up there, but I think Alfakov should be all right for attacking a few in the air. But there you go. We can see now. So wide centre-back, ball player, Mazzala. Okay, so they're going to be running into the channels up here. You'd think they're going to get a little bit more forward. I mean, we could try and exploit on the counter-attack where their wide centre-backs are going to be pushing wide. They're not going to be allowing us to get crosses in. So let's just try it. We're going to just tuck these guys in, and we're going to basically tell them to bomb on. And we're going to just try and overload their... So we won't hold the ball up anymore, but we're going to try and overload their defence. And then what we will do is in the opposition, the centre one, we will tightly mark you. And then we'll tackle you guys hard, because we've got so many people up there. Now, I'm hoping they don't just play through the press. But that's what we're going to go with. We're going to go with that and see if that helps us just overload them a little bit. I'm just thinking, with that there, they've got no midfielder is dropping in to help out either. Now, it's a pretty boring, even game. But I'm going to put a lot of that down to fitness. Because we've got tired players. I'm sure they're going to have tired players. I mean, look at Moreno, Crimson Mori, all struggling. Xavi struggling. We're not going to really let this game go too far in. I think 10 minutes into the second half, nothing's really affected the game. So we're going to bring on Jake Mills to be a shadow striker behind. Crimson Mori can be replaced by Mendoza. And then we're going to drop Alfakov into here, which is a role he's done numerous times before. And we're going to take Xavi off for... I don't really want to play Camamero at right back. I think I'm going to have to. The only other thing we could do... yeah, let's do that. Let's bring Andreas over there and Liam Hollick to left back. And then... because Liam Hollick's tired as well. So I think we take Liam off. We bring on Aaron Wall, who is tired. But we go with that. Sticking with our sort of box 4. It is a corner, but I don't think we're going to see anything. No, we're not. Let's give them some encouragement. Try and get them to do something else. Fernando. Out it goes to Andreas. Back to Fernando. Into Pena. Ball through Pozzo. Pozzo's tackled. Alfakov picks it up. Andreas. Ball through Pozzo. Oh, he scored. I think it is onside. It is. Pozzo does really well, and that's what I meant. We overloaded that middle part. Look at it. They just couldn't keep up with all the runners that we had. Alfakov picked out Andreas. Andreas put it through. Pozzo had run from deep, and it's a lovely finish. He could have squared it for a simple tap in for Mendoza, But he didn't, and he took the goal himself. And that is absolutely lovely. Look how tired they're getting in the middle. And I feel like we've made a good tactical decision there to get that done. Now, they've just moved something around. Have they made some subs? Yes, they've brought on a new striker. That doesn't really bother me. We're now tightly marking Gino. Yeah, that's fine. So it's moved with the player. That's what I wanted it to do, which is good. We are going to have to take Supreme Dave off, though. Absolutely shattered in the middle of the park. We'll bring on a Kinde. He was a bit lacking match fitness, but we'll bring him off. Joel Pozzo would be my next one, but I'm sort of thinking he stays on. And we do potentially Atli Berge at right back. We've done 2 or 3 stoppages. We've got 1 of 5 left. So we should have another stoppage to make the final substitution when we need to. Alphakoff. Back to Camarero. Dave Supreme. Back to Fernando. So Supreme Dave will be coming off pretty soon. Pozzo turns really well. Pozzo shoots over the bar. But you can see we are exploiting that middle of the pitch. And it is going pretty damn well at the moment. We've turned it around in this second half. Right. So is there anyone really knackered? Pozzo is tired. He's playing well. He's got his goal. I think we do. Do we take him off and try and go on the... I mean, he is the most tired with 10 minutes to go. But I sort of feel like making a defensive sub makes sense. Get fresh legs on. We're going to bring on Atli Berge. Or do we bring on Miguel? No, we'll bring on Miguel. They're recommending Miguel. I've made all my subs. I've made all 5 subs. So that's absolute nonsense, isn't it? What was I thinking? But we do have a throw in. Aaron Wall, Jake Mills, back to Aaron Wall. Ball in. Pozzo's free again, and he's got a second goal. Come on, the referee's checking it. It looked onside. It could be very, very good. It's been given 2-0, and that changed to just overload. And it's all about... The best advantage you can get in Football Manager is by looking at what roles your opposition have and trying to exploit what their players are doing. It's definitely the best way to do it. As you can see, they're still not changing system, but we're taking a 2-0 away win into the second leg, which is incredible. As Pozzo is fouled, I was worried about that as he was getting lower and lower on his fitness as Pena shoots over. Pozzo is going to have to come off. Not too much of an issue because he's playing on that right-hand side, but he's had a great game. But we should get through to the full-time whistle, and it is... There we go, 2-0. I was waiting for it to finish. 7 shots to 5. We turned it around in the second half. Yeah, really, really good second half performance. So a win and a good performance. We go into the second leg. And that is what is good to do. Arsenal smashing Cagliari 3-0 away from home. So we're in a very, very good position. Joel Pozzo is out for 3 to 6 weeks. Wow, not what you want after you score 2 goals. But yeah, good performance all round. I do like that indeed. We do have Celta Vigo up next, but I think I do just want to keep this as a short little video. Obviously, we don't normally come back in like December, then February and things like that. So I think we'll keep going and we'll see who we get in the next knockout stage. Hopefully, it's not going to be Real Madrid, Barcelona, knockout game, Sevilla. Hopefully, we get past that and it's somewhere against Sevilla Elche, but I can't remember what the scheduling is. But thank you so much for watching. Very short, sweet, short and sharp today. But thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Any questions, get them in the Discord. All the links are in the description below. We'll be streaming on Tuesdays and Wednesdays most days, or most weeks. So yeah, come and join on twitch.tv/cultured left foot. But for now, I'm out. Cheers.